For section G.4, we're just finding slope from an equation, so I'm going to use just the IXL. Now, for many of you, this is going to feel like a really easy section and that it doesn't mean anything, but for the next section, which can be a little tricky, we're going to take this one nice and slow to make sure we're comfortable with the topic. So, the first thing that you have to write down in your notes is this equation, y equals mx plus b, and that goes in the tune of YMCA. Y equals mx plus b. I know you guys are going to be singing that all the time now. But the important part of this is that the number m and b are going to be replaced with something. So you're going to get an equation like this, 2x plus 1. So in this example here, our 2 is our m and our 1 is our b. And what's important about this is the m stands for slope and the b stands for the y-intercept. Well, we're only going to deal with slope today. So we have to identify when we look at an equation what stands in the m spot, and then we have to go from there. So if I'm in this equation here on the right, we have y equals mx plus b. So our m is going to always be the number in front of x, which is 7 divided by 4. It wants it as a proper fraction or an improper, so 7/4 should be fine. This equation, same thing. Y equals 2/7 x, so I go 2 divided by 7. Now this is a little bit different. This is more like what we're given here, y equals 2x plus 1. Y equals 4x minus 3, so our slope is going to be 4. Okay, and so I'm hoping that from these examples you can see that you're always just identifying the thing that's in front of x. And this is important for a couple reasons that we'll get into more detail with the next section. Now, one other thing I want to show you before I end this very short video is if we're given an equation like we had before, y equals 2x plus 1. And there's another way that you can actually find the slope. And what you do there is you go back to our trusty table that we had worked with earlier. And we always do our -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And so our thing here would go 2 times -2 plus 1. That's -4 plus 1 is -3. Then we go 2 times -1 plus 1. Well, that's -2 plus 1, that's -1. This would then be 1, 3, and 5. And we've always talked about having a pattern. Well, that pattern right there, as long as your x's go by 1s, is your slope. If you notice here, we're going up by 2 every time. Well, that 2 should match that 2 right there. So even though in this one we're finding slope directly from an equation, you could make a table and find your slope from there. So very short video, pretty easy section. If you have any questions, make sure you ask me about them.